What happens when the spotlight is too bright for a young quarterback to handle? That's the question surrounding Cleveland Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders, a player who finds himself making headlines for all the wrong reasons. In a league where rookies are constantly under the microscope, Sanders is in a unique position. Even when he doesn't speak, the conversation still seems to find him. And this week, his bizarre interview antics went viral, drawing harsh criticism from a former NFL linebacker who didn't hold back one bit. Cleveland made waves when they announced fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel as their starting quarterback for Week 5, leaving Shedeur Sanders buried as QB3 behind Gabriel and veteran Joe Flacco. For a player who was once expected to quickly rise into the role of a franchise starter, that depth chart placement stung. When reporters asked Sanders about the move, he chose not to give a straight answer. Instead, he mouthed words without context, confusing the press and frustrating fans watching at home. The strange moment instantly lit up social media, and analysts everywhere began weighing in on what exactly Sanders was trying to do. One of the loudest voices came from former NFL linebacker Emmanuel Acho, who tore into Sanders' response and called it flat-out immature. Speaking on the Speakeasy show, Acho compared Shedeur's behavior to something you might see in a relationship when instead of addressing a problem with honesty, someone decides to stay silent to prove a point. He argued that a mature response would have been to speak up, to share his feelings directly, rather than shutting down completely. For Acho, this was not the mark of a player ready to lead an NFL team, and Acho wasn't alone in his criticism. Reports suggest Sanders' miming response came as a jab back at ESPN analyst Rex Ryan, who had blasted him earlier in the week. Ryan accused Sanders of wasting his opportunities, of talking like a starter, while failing to put in the work to actually earn the role. In Ryan's eyes, Sanders has the talent but lacks the discipline, and he should be embarrassed that he has already slipped into a third-string role so early in his career. For a quarterback who was drafted at pick 144 in the 2025 NFL Draft, this was never supposed to be the story. It was supposed to be the future, not an afterthought. Still, not everyone is against Shedeur. His father, Hall of Famer Dillon Sanders, has stood by him and even supported his silent response, arguing that his son has every right to express himself however he sees fit. And let's not forget, Dillon Gabriel, who now sits ahead of him, was only a third-round selection. The Browns didn't necessarily draft him to be the face of the franchise. If Gabriel stumbles, Shedeur could still have his chance to reclaim the narrative and prove everyone wrong. But here's the reality. Time is running short for Shedeur Sanders to flip the script. Between viral moments, mixed messages, and brutal critiques from NFL legends, he has to decide whether he wants to be remembered as a player defined by controversy or one who rose above the noise to finally take control of the Cleveland Browns offense. The league is watching, the fans are watching, and his critics are louder than ever. So the question now is simple. Will Shedeur Sanders grow into the leader Cleveland desperately needs, or will he let immaturity and missed opportunities seal his fate? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The spotlight on this young quarterback isn't fading anytime soon. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the ongoing Shedeur Sanders saga, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more NFL stories, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Sanders still has what it takes to become a starter in this league, or is this the beginning of the end for his NFL dreams? Let's talk about it.